Right, very good morning to everyone, and
Good morning.
welcome to Rauful. Rauful Azam is here with us. All right, so okay, that's great. I think you have audio seems to be sorted here. All right, so how are you doing, Rauful?
Yeah, doing great.
All right, wonderful. Okay, so you had when was it that you were a part of the institute here? It has been some time.
Yeah, I was in the part of I think it's November and December 2020.
2020.
Yes,
Okay, all right. Okay, all right.
it's COVID time.
It's been quite a while, right? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. So we'd like to hear all about your journey post that. Also, prior in terms of probably you can just start by introducing yourself to all our audience and
yeah,
take it from there.
sure. So I think all of you know my name. It's Rauful Azam. I'm a computer science graduate. Basically, I got graduated in 2020, and post that I joined DataMites basically as a data. I enrolled for data science course. So I enrolled somewhere around October or maybe November 2020. And within the 2 months of joining the course, I got paid internship, and then certainly I got promoted as a full-time employment. So in my first company, I was in Title Solution Private Limited as a data, AIM engineer, and then later on I moved to the Tredence Analytics. So there I'm in from last 3 years as a data scientist. During this journey, I have worked on multiple projects like maybe resume parser, recommender system, chatbot, web scraping, transportation planning, and optimization, promotion optimization, as well as rack system, generative AI, so a lot of others as well.
Okay. And all right. Wonderful. Great to know. And so when you had started off with data science, just to trace back, you were
Yeah.
already quite familiar with programming and you were adept at Python, is it?
Uh, the thing is, I am a computer science graduate, but I was not as interested in programming. Like during my college, I was focusing on something else, so I basically neglected the programming completely. So it was quite a bit. If I share one incident, I generally used to mug up all my programs, like 10
Right.
programs for the labs, and go and write the program over there. So once I decided to move out with data science, then I started practicing. So little bit ideas I was having, but later on, within that 2 months or 3 months, I basically brushed up all the skills.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it would have been something that you have anyways been through. And I take it some of the colleges don't focus that much on Python, but at any rate, you would have been quick to latch on, right?
Yeah, it
Uh,
was there in I think so in seventh semester or sixth semester, Python was a subject.
okay. Okay. Great. All right. Okay. So, how was the machine learning side of things when you began?
Machine like I just used to remember, like every college student that does like they just before 2 days of exams, right? They just remember last 4 year or 5 year question paper, whatever they have asked. It was completely blank. Like in the time I decided to go out for data science and I joined the institute, I was not knowing like it just I was knowing that machine learning is a subject which exists and some of the theories I was knowing.
Right.
And so that was the thing.
That was the yeah. So I guess in some sense the course is sort of a little too. It is a bit concentrated as well. You try to go through multiple algorithms and get a little deeper into that, right? Was this
Yeah, yes, yes. So after joining, I kind of got direction and then I started exploring a lot basically. So every time I was getting taught anything, let's suppose the mentor has taught me what is linear regression, right? Then I used to go and search about it, what is linear regression, how it is applying in the industry, right? How
right?
people are using linear regression and what exactly the problem it can solve for the industry and all. So by doing that, I was going in very depth knowledge, like what exactly it can fix and all that. So that helps a lot. Yeah.
That helps a lot. Yes. And it's was there was, of course, once you are right in the middle of it, when you are in the industry, you are hands on, and the learning
Yeah.
is that much more accelerated, right? So
Yes, yes.
could you talk to us about what you have been doing in Tredence for the last few years?
So from last 3 years, when I joined, I started with basically it's structured data. So the thing was there we need to solve a problem like price elasticity, right, and price recommendations, as well as trade promotion optimization. So in these, the idea was basically to decide the pricing. So let's
Right.
suppose we want to talk about price elasticity. So there we were giving that this is the elasticity value for your product, right? So elasticity is something which tells that what will happen if I'll increase my price by 1 unit, so how much demand will decrease or increase. So that's what it sort of gives to the as a business owner, right? For business owner to understand what should be my pricing strategy. So by using that elasticity, we were recommending the price, okay, that this is the certain price which you can keep and your revenue will be maximized for that. So there is a again multiple factor that what they want to maximize, whether the revenue or maybe
Right.
market share. So based on that, we do the optimization. And in TPO, trade promotion optimization, the idea was to give a calendar for complete years. So on which particular week, what are the type of promotion they can run, and also like what when they are running a certain type of promotion, like how much discount they should give, what type of advertising they should do, whether it's a display or maybe front end, like just they have to keep on the front end of the store or something like that. So that all promotions we were giving. And also in generative AI, I fixed the problem of actionable insights, where the idea was to, given a feedback data, we have to understand like what are the topics, which subtopic it belongs to, and also highlighting the issue. Like if there is a feedback written in maybe 10 lines, so what is the exact issue like in that 10 lines? So sometimes people talk something and something, and just there is a one words or maybe two line which can help business owner to improve their business. So that two line need to be highlighted. So that's one thing. And also table QA, where the idea was to, as a business owner, right? If they want to know what is my revenue in certain quarter, or my what is my how my sales is performing. So for that, they might have to hire an analyst or maybe someone who knows the SQL query, who can write the SQL query and get the
Right.
data and create a very fancy chart and all that, basically summary. So that we automated it sort of. So basically, you ask a question, and the model itself will, convert to SQL query. It will get the data. It will generate the summary chart, and also on the top of it, it will give some recommendations. So that was it.
Some recommendations as well. All right. So what are, in Gen AI, what are the key tools that you are using?
NGNI, we use basically either uh, GPT APIs, or apart from that, sometimes even the Hugging Face big models, you
Okay.
can say. So when I do the fine tuning of the models,
Okay.
as well as sometimes going ahead with the APIs.
Nice. So this is a large team. Like when you say you're fine tuning, is it like you guys distribute the work around, or how is the architecture there?
Mostly, I like two people handles for fine tuning the task, but it does take some time, maybe 5-10 days. But yeah, two people who are able to. We get the data. Like the thing is, we
Right.
get the data. So just we have to, create the architecture. Like after training the preload weight from the Hugging Face, we have to just create the architecture that what will be my input format and what will be my output format and how I want my output. So all that.
Okay, wonderful. Great. Right. So these are very actionable business cases, right?
Yeah.
Something that, yeah, we do use something similar in the programs as well, ones that you mentioned for price elasticity. So all
Yeah.
that happens mostly in on Excel.
Excel. Uh, it was not using Excel, so we kind of built the models.
Okay.
So maybe regression model. So in regression model, what happened if you apply the log, generally the coefficient, right? So coefficient tells us it's, but if you apply the log in the feature, then the coefficient itself will tell us the the elasticity value. And in certain situation, when you are building the neural network or maybe random for some other model, right? So in that case, we can check this basically like how much percentage change in demand is. So basically some mathematical formula you can apply there for
Right.
elasticity, which is nothing but percentage change in demand divided by percentage change in price. So that will give you
Okay,
the
all right.
elasticity.
Yeah, let's not get too technical now.
Yeah.
So, given most of those who are here are, yeah, I just wanted to, have a day-to-day idea of what Rauful does, so the attendees have, some measurement of that as well. But mostly they are here to understand what your journey has been like in terms of upgrading, learning. Let's say, over the last few years, what are the new things that you have picked up? Have you also been doing some courses?
No, right now I'm not doing any courses. So I think that's one of the last course in
That was
data
the last.
mines
Oh,
I did.
okay. All right.
Uh,
Okay.
After that, obviously, I did like this machine learning Stanford University, which is by Andhra and JML course. So that I
Right.
did. Maybe deep learning course also I did. So just to brush up my skills, I think now Google is sufficient, and even the Chat GPT has come,
Sufficient. Yes. Right.
so we can learn everything from Google.
Wonderful. Okay. Great. Yeah. So that is yeah, good deal of uh, yeah, there's a good deal of help with that, with your AI tools, of course. But yeah, so that's great. We have a few questions coming along, Rauful.
Hmm.
E-certificates, Joy, you can, I suppose, yeah, there are other sessions where certificates do come about. So yeah, you can reach out to the team for that. Yeah, those things, those sessions are constantly happening, right? So, which is the most important topic in data science? Which topic, if somebody is learning right from scratch, what
Hmm.
should they pay more attention to?
So I generally recommend to the that's what my approach it was. So I generally recommend that go ahead first with Python, probably learn the Python, and then SQL. So these all are the very common skill in analytics or data scientists, even for business analysts and all the even ML engineers. So everyone look for these 4 5 skills. So which even the data might teach. So Python, SQL, and statistics, right? So these three, and along with that, Excel, which is important, and any visualization tools. Can you hear me, guys?
Yes, yes, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ah,
Okay,
so
great.
these 5 skills, so if they can brush up basically Python and statistics, which is again comes with stats or mathematics, SQL and Excel, or any visualization tool, maybe Tableau or Power BI. So with this 5, they'll be able to at least start attending the interviews or getting the calls for interviews, right? So that is the thing. And apart from that, what I suggest, let's suppose this is the 5 skills. You just so if you are targeting for data analysis, just go for and look minimum 5 job description. Maybe you can search on LinkedIn, like what are the for fresher, look for 5 job description and check what are the common skills in all that 5 job description, right? So let's suppose in all 5 there is one common skill. They're asking that PySpark. I'm just taking an
Right,
example. Maybe they are asking a bit about knowing something about little deep learning. If they're just example, so if they're asking something which is common in all 5, then you just go ahead and try to learn by your own. Maybe you can watch YouTube videos, or you can uh, any other source, you can find it out and you try to learn that and add that skill in your resume. So that will be a good idea, basically a good strategist, at least to start getting a call from industry.
great. Okay, all right, all right. Okay. So yeah, I think his main things a fresher should focus on. I think that's pretty much, yeah, he has pretty much covered it. And how, in your opinion, has the role of data scientists evolved over the years, particularly in your company? So, yeah, you,
Yeah. So I think so. Earlier, I'll talk about. So earlier, for summarization, right? People were using probably some Hugging Face model where you can download for summary generations. Maybe you just keep the doc and the model itself will do the sum. Or either you might have to do the fine tuning. But now, as the GPT has come, right? So what happened now? People are not going with fine tuning the model. They can directly write the prompting, basically a very nice prompt, which is all about writing an English essay. So write the prompt and hit to the API, and you'll get the nice summary. So the better you do the prompt. So I think so. This is something which is getting evolved, but at the end, these all are basically what you can say. It's agent who are going to support us. So something. Let's suppose if you are taking to do one task in a day, so this agents will help you to do that same task in an hour or maybe 2 hours. So that is something which I looked at going forward. Maybe the data scientist work will probably get a bit more faster, and there will be a lot of agents which will come, and they will certainly
Like
start
automation.
helping data scientists more and more. So that is something which I
Right.
feel. So just that you have to be updated along with the trend, like what is coming new, and try to understand how I can utilize that particular agents or tools in
Right.
our day-to-day tasks.
Yeah. Use of tools is something that you will always find as we are, there is a lot of research going on data science as well,
Yeah,
right? So then all these tools,
even NVIDIA CEO says the same thing that like many people say that AI is going to take the job. What he says that AI will not take the job, but the person who is using AI will take the job for
right. Right. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. So the smart thing is to catch on, and of course, once your job is simplified with all the help that you have from these tools, and we call them agents. So there's of course the creative aspects that your contribution becomes stronger, right? It frees
sure.
up your time for a more productive work. Okay.
Correct.
What all Gen AI skills do we need to become a data scientist?
So I think for generative AI, the mostly what you need to know is about the using the API. That's the most thing. And the second thing is obviously fine tuning the model. So probably if you have a skills about deep learning, so if somebody knows the deep learning, I think so that is sufficient for generative AI. Because now and prompting technique obviously. So writing there are various prompts which is like one shot example where you just give simple example which is known as few shot example, and maybe multiple shots examples all that, right? So what I believe, if you can learn about prompting and deep learning very nicely, and also fine tuning the models, that will be sufficient for generative AI.
Okay, great. Wonderful. Um, yeah, I think Rauful kind of started off on that. There's the question on tips for resume building. So you talked about looking through these JDs and finding common skills that you need. Okay. That's more on a learning
Yeah,
side.
and
Okay.
one more thing to add, sometime what happened, like for that question which you asked, like, so try to, update your resume every time you are applying for any job. So let's suppose you have five common skills, and you saw that somebody, you are applying for data analysis, and they're asking PySpark as well as a maybe, as
Add-on.
a skills. So what you can do, you just go ahead and watch the 2 hours YouTube video on PySpark, and just create one basic section in your resume that you know the PySpark as well. Add that PySpark in your resume. At least your resume will get shortlisted. Now you'll get the call.
So get the
And
call.
before interview, you can do 3 4 hour more preparation for PySpark. So
Okay, right. So
anyhow,
essentially,
you have added in basic section. So you can say that I know the basics of PySpark. 4 or 6 hour, whatever you have learned, just talk about that. So
that's very handy, right? So it's somewhere you are also showing there is a willingness to learn, and that you, because you picked up the basics, you will learn more on the,
yes,
right? So that's,
exactly.
yeah, definitely a strong way to look at it. Okay, great. I think that's about it for um, from our viewers. Yeah, looks like we don't have any further questions. Um, any, I think you've given sufficient amount of advice. So what is the yeah, if your last parting words in terms of how youngsters can approach this?
How youngsters can?
Well, what should be the approach towards something that is dynamic, something that is ever growing in terms of your, because the market is tough at times, right? So that is a challenge that people do face, and there are always these ups and downs that happen, right?
Mm-hmm. Right. So the thing is, when I was doing the preparation, I was trying to be the best, and also, trying to how I can be different from the what other people do, right? Because if you look at, so at least many people are doing the data science preparation, then how you are different from them, right? If everybody is doing the data science preparation, how you are getting different? So what I suggest few things is whatever you are learning. So let's suppose you mentor has taught you about what is list, what is tuple in Python, right? Just go home, try to practice maybe 5 times related to list and tuple. Create a very nice document, or maybe just talk about that on LinkedIn, or you can create a YouTube video. So I used to create YouTube videos, whatever I was getting taught, LinkedIn and tuple and all that. Sorry, list, tuple and everything, right? So I used to go home and basically preparing some 5, 10 questions
Right.
on the top of it where we can use it. And then I used to create a video where I was explaining what is list, what is tuple, what is dictionary, and where you can use in the programming language, all that. So I think if when you learn and when you have a capability to explain the same thing, that's where you become different from the other people, because just learning will not help you. If you can explain the same thing to other, that is something which is going to help you for sure. So try to share your knowledge. Maybe either you can start teaching with your to your friends, whoever maybe don't know data science. Just tell them, come, I'll teach you a data science. Just teach him simply to
Grow
improve your
your,
knowledge, or
yes,
maybe just share on YouTube, share on LinkedIn, so or maybe on Medium blogs. It doesn't matter if people watch or doesn't watch, or people are reacting or not reacting. Just share it on.
right.
So that is one thing. And the second thing is obviously which I talked about, like start applying for the resume, basically for the job. The day one you start the course. So when I joined the course on the day one, I started applying. I just created my resume based on the ideas and thought, and whatever I got to know that these all skills required, and I started applying. Although I was resume was not getting shortlisted, but
Right.
still I was trying. So that is the thing. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. That's great advice, and it's been great talking to you, Rauful. So all the very best for all your future endeavors, right? So there's
Thank you.
you are on many counts. I think how the clarity that you have is something that's going to help inspire a lot of people as well. All right. So thank you for talking to us
Thank you.
today. Right. Wish you all the best.
Yeah, thank you so much. And anybody, any viewers, if they want to really know more, or maybe they need any type of help, they can ping me on LinkedIn. I'll certainly try to help them. Sure. So yeah. So
Great.